Hey there, what's happening YouTube? Thanks for stopping back by the channel today here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. You are tuning in today to get the finale of the flat rate series. That's right, over the last couple of weeks, I've asked quite a few of my subscribers to fill out some surveys on what they think about the flat rate system, what they think it should go to, where the shortfalls and the shortcomings are in the automotive community. And this is going to be the final aspect of what I think the flat rate community should be going to instead of the flat rate system. So in this episode, I'm going to be going over those surveys, showing you guys exactly what everybody across the US has put in on what they think about the flat rate system, what they think about the future of the automotive industry, where the shortcomings are, and what we should be doing in the future to move on to get away from this horrendous flat rate system. Let's go through this. Stay tuned. So if you didn't know already, over the last couple of videos, I put out a couple of surveys for everybody to be able to fill out, all anonymous, not putting any kind of names or emails or anything to that. I asked questions from where you guys are working at, whether you work flat rate, hourly, hourly plus commission, a hybrid system, how much money you make, where you're at in the country respectively, and quite a few other things to what you think is the shortcomings of the flat rate system. So as a total, over these surveys, I had over 750 people put their entries into these surveys. So I got some amazing numbers, so let's go through these. All right, so out of the 750 people who filled out these surveys, you guys can see those. By the way, if you go back, I will put the links in the description to the old ones, just to see what kind of questions I asked. We'll go through some of them. Most of them are going to be from the recent one because I did a video on the last survey, but let's go through some of these. So out of those 750 people, 60% of them do work flat rate in the industry. So there's still 40% of them who have their opinion on the flat rate system, but do not work it. But 60% of them do actually work in the flat rate system. Going through just some of the little intricacies of it, which I was absolutely surprised about because I'm going to compare it to what I see here in the dealership. One was vacation time. Working flat rate or working hourly doesn't matter to that amount. 60% of you that work flat rate, I asked, how much vacation do you guys get? 42% of you get 2 weeks vacation. That is what we personally received here after 2 years of full-time benefits work. So as long as you're working here for full-time, you get 2 weeks. 23% of people said they get 3 weeks. 13% of you say they get more than 3 weeks of vacation. Wow. How does that work? More than 3 weeks? I don't think I've ever seen a job in the automotive industry working on cars that pays more than that. But if you get that, kudos to you guys for actually, getting the job done and having a great employer that's able to do that one. Now, a really cool one that I had people answer was when you're applying for a job. Now this was kind of a trick question because there was two sides that people could think to this one. When you're applying for a new job, is it more important to say A, that the job does not pay flat rate, or B, that there is better benefits and packages that you get for insurance and things like that? So funny enough, only 55% of those people say that the benefits matter more than not working flat rate. How bad does everyone hate flat rate to not care about what benefits you get in this job? The benefits are one of the biggest things, especially at the cost of health care, the cost of insurance and everything that we have right now. And in this industry, employers don't want to pay for that stuff, so it's expensive. I'll put it this way, even here in this job, insurance at this place is crazy. For a family insurance plan, we pay almost $240 a week for a family health insurance plan. Is that not highway robbery or what? If you guys have any other input to this one, please feel free to put it down in the comments below, because I like to hear these things from everybody. But I'm just seeing from what I'm working with, and that's what people are saying, that they hate flat rate that much that 45% of those people would rather see shitty benefits over not working the flat rate system. I don't exactly agree with seeing that percentage of people doing it, but that's what they said. Another one of the questions that I asked was performance reviews. How often do you receive them at your job? Do you receive them every 3 months, 6 months, annually? And then I had to throw that last one in there. What's a performance review? Funny enough that me just putting a funny answer in there said that 55% of the people surveyed do not receive performance reviews. What is up with that? How do you guys know how well you're doing in your job? Do you just base your performance off of how well you're getting paid, or how many attaboys your boss gives you? How do you know? That's one of those things that as employers, if you guys who are employers are watching this one, employment and performance reviews need to be held to be able to keep up your standards of what you are paying your employees, to say, wow, maybe he's not putting out that great of work or that amount of work, or hey, you are doing great in this area, or hey, you are falling short in this area, fix first visit scores, whatever it may be, to be able to keep track of. You need to keep track of these things, and you need to fill your employees in on how they're doing. If they don't know how they're doing, they don't know how to improve on themselves. And for whatever people think about the mechanics in this industry, we actually care about what we're doing. And if we don't know how we're doing, we don't know how to fix it. We don't know how to make ourselves better in your eyes as an employer. Now, here's another good one that I put in for this most recent survey, saying that you don't work the flat rate system. You are working the hourly system. You actually got your boss to switch on over. So in the way of working hourly, there has to be some kind of a repercussion to doing bad work, doing shoddy work, not getting enough done. There has to be efficiency and, review standards for what you do in the shop. So I said, in doing that, what would you do to punish non-efficiency or bad work? So it was tied 3 ways, which was kind of crazy on this one, pretty much dead even. 30% said you should receive no bonuses. So that would be in a circumstance in which you received hourly plus bonuses for receiving efficiency. 30% said you shouldn't receive your bonus. 30% says you should get written up for the performance. I totally agree with that one. If you don't meet your performance standards, especially based on if you're doing and the work is able to be done, or if you guys are having a lot of comebacks, yeah, there should be repercussions for that one. And then 30% of you also said, you know what, you hired me for what I do. If you don't like what I'm doing, then fire me. What is that, guys? Are you that stuck up on yourselves to be able to say, you know what, I am totally above the law. I am above having standards set for me that if you don't like what I'm doing, then you should just get rid of me? I personally think that that answer was kind of a cop-out and a crock for a lot of people. I think that you need to have that kind of a fallback. And as an employer especially, you need to have some kind of a fail-safe or a guarantee from your employees that they're going to do good work. Seeing the shortfall in the amount of people that are available in this industry to fill the needs of automotive technicians is way, way short. So having the employers actually being able to, yeah, if we don't like what you're doing or you guys aren't doing great, then we'll fire you for that one. They're not able to do that anymore because they can't get people to fill their positions. We actually see that here in the dealership that I'm working at. We have some people that don't meet industry standards and don't meet our standards, but we can't get rid of people like that because we can't get anybody to be hired or fill out applications where we're at. So it's a double-edged sword. It sucks in that aspect. To fill out the other 10%, they did say that you should get reduced pay, but only 10% of you think that you should cut back the pay. Well, that's a little bit weird and different from just saying, oh, well, fire me, I guess. But that was an interesting one that I have to say that people put those answers. And then one of the last things that I wanted to bring up to you guys before I got to my opinions on the final fix for the flat rate system. I asked in one of the other surveys, people that work the flat rate system, not the ones who are working hourly at the time, the people who are actually working flat rate, what is your worst off-put of the flat rate system? What are you most worried about? What is the worst part of it by far? So 40%, which was the leading answer in this category, said the stress and anxiety of making time. So you guys are stressed the beginning of the week, you don't have any hours, you're trying to rack up those hours so you're not so stressed and so, rush for work and everything towards the end of the week so you guys can just kind of cruise out on a Friday. I totally get that one. Mondays and Tuesdays working flat rate is stressful in this industry, especially in the slow season here in the wintertime like it is right now. It is pretty stressful. Now, the part that I didn't think was so crazy was the second place answer on that one, and that is the deficiency in warranty times that we're seeing. Warranty times are being cut so drastically that is one of my biggest pet peeves to why the flat rate system isn't and can never work correctly for the automotive industry. There's an industry standard that is not being met all the way across the board. It's different from manufacturer to manufacturer. It's almost as bad as gas prices between all the different states. You might have a 50% swing in gas prices from one state to another. I guess it's all about the point of supply and demand, but when we're getting into the times that you're paying your employees, that's pretty shoddy for a single company that pays their employees generally out all the way across the board. So seeing that was pretty darn interesting. But so now we've gone through all of these different things that I asked on these surveys. I didn't go through 100% of everything. I asked more questions than I probably should have, but those were some of the main important ones that I wanted to cover. So what do I think about the flat rate system? It needs to go. It really does. But there's a big but in the room on this one, and that's the point that it can't. It really can't. With all the findings that I've had in doing all of the research that I'm doing, it's not physically able to be cut out of this industry. It's like one of those cancerous tumors that is just woven into absolutely everything across the industry, and they rely on it so heavily and so heartily between the management as well as the people who are used to working the flat rate system. That's how everything is paid. You get a vehicle in, every single job is paid per that job and what they think it should pay. It's all the flat rate system. So everything is paid that way. So a lot of reasons that employers aren't going over to an hourly is because to keep track of all their efficiency and the amount that the dealership is bringing in. It's like keeping track of two totally different pay systems, one that the customer is paying in this one and one that we're paying our employees on this hand and this side of it. So getting those efficiency bonuses, you still have to keep track of the flat rate system all the same. It's just in a different part of the dealership. Another reason that it's not going to be able to be cut out of the industry is because of the people who are solely set on the flat rate system. The people who have been working it for the last 15, 20, 30, 40 years, that's what they're so used to that they're able to work the system fantastically to be able to earn what they need to on the flat rate system. Now, exactly what does that mean? There's a couple of different aspects to that. A lot of the people that said they didn't like the flat rate system because it offers the opportunity for people to cut corners on the quality of work they do. I wholeheartedly believe that because I see that in some of the guys who are big into the flat rate system. They've been working it for so long that they're used to getting their hour of diag time, even though they only spend 15 minutes on it, and not putting much effort into anything else on checking other areas of the vehicle. They're also able to say, you know what? I can see where I get shorted out my time, and that's in warranty coverages and warranty payment. Now, why would I want to get certified? Now, that's another thing we'll get into here in just a second. But another thing, like I said, is going to be certification. They won't get their certification. So why is the employer wanting to go over to an hourly system that only promotes people that aren't going to want to do a whole lot of extra work? Yes, like we said before, you can always just fire them and find somebody else who wants to work in the hourly system. But again, shortage in the industry, you're not really able to fight that fight to be able to offer another perspective to bring more people into employment into your industry. Now, why do I say those things exactly? Well, one reason is because I actually went to my employer trying to ask these same questions and trying to get them to switch over to an hourly plus bonuses and efficiency system. And these were the exact same hurdles that I came over every time. I couldn't, in a right mind, put forward the amount of information that it would take to change his mind because of the kind of employees that we have here in our shop. A couple of them have been working the flat rate system for the better part of 2 decades, 3 decades even. So they've been doing this stuff a very long time. They're very set in their ways in what they do. They don't really want to evolve in the system. They don't want to get a lot more training. And in our area, we're not able to hire new employees very easily at all. So seeing that was not able to turn the mind of my employer to say that if we go to an hourly system, you'll see better work, you'll see a better efficiency if we just, give them more along the lines of the carrot instead of the stick. But again, he wasn't able to see that one because he doesn't see them being able to better themselves and wanting to do more if you just give them less of a goal to reach by just working hourly. He thinks at that point they'll just skate by, and I really do see that one. Somebody who is close to the retirement age, why at that point would they want to go to a system that they're not used to working, to one that they would have to equally get the same amount of training across the board? And why do you think that they would want to work more hours? If they went to hourly, pretty sure they would skate along by a whole lot easier than if they were working flat rate. So I totally understand where my boss is coming from on that one, as much as I hate to say it. So after all that said, what is the solution? A short-term solution for what I think needs to be fixed in the industry is just some of the biggest shortcomings. Number one is that warranty times have to be evolved. We have to come forward on our warranty times and offer an even and stable payment plan across the entire United States or the entire industry of the different companies. These different companies should be the ones falling into suit. Obviously, you're going to see more technicians jumping ship from one brand to another because of how they pay in the warranty system. I think you're going to see that more and more over the next couple of years, where some of these manufacturers are going to start paying a little bit better on their warranty times, and they're going to get some of those employees and those technicians to jump ship from those other brands just to be able to make their better time. They're going to want to get more certification. They're going to want to do more and better things to better themselves because they're not getting hosed over on their efficiency ratings or their warranty times, because that's what kind of job they do. Now, here in a smaller dealership where we don't see that huge amount of warranty work, it's not that huge of a thing. But in a dealership with 15, 20, 25 technicians, where you guys are doing 75% or more in warranty work, that is a huge killer. And you don't know how many people that I've talked to that they have actually asked me the question, hey, I am making 75% efficiency here in the shop. Do you think it's worth staying, or should I look someplace else for better amounts of work? Again, you get to the point of the grass is greener on the other side, but you're working at a shop that has nobody receiving 100% efficiency. How bad is that one? Based on warranty times, you're not able to even reach 100% efficiency. Your employees can't make the amount of time that they're actually there for. Then your guys' clock and your guys' amount of payment to time is totally messed up. The whole warranty schedule needs totally revamped. It needs thrown in the trash and rewritten out. That is going to be step one to fixing any of these problems. Step two, I think, on this one is going to be to relieve the anxiety. If you're going to have to stay with a flat rate system to be able to pay your employees, you're going to have some kind of a backfall for them. Something that leaves them a peace at mind each one of their weeks, that even if they get screwed over on these warranty times, even if they get hosed over and they have a rusty, crusty job that they're not able to make time on at all, that they're still going to make the hours that they are there for. Having a guarantee is what I'm talking about. For you guys that don't work on guarantees, generally you have more hours in your shop, or you have management who actually knows how to schedule for the amount of technicians that you have. Having that guarantee is a really nice security net for the technicians. You know that you're going to be able to come into work, you're going to be able to do your amount of work and efficiency, then that for some reason if you don't make it, you are still able to make, say, a 35 or a 40-hour paycheck, regardless of how bad the system is still screwing you over. So number two, I would have to say, is to give some kind of guarantees to the flat rate technicians, just so they can feel more at peace. And the last and final piece of this puzzle, I would have to say, is the self-worth of the technician. The self-worth of the kind of work that you guys are putting out is the kind of idea that you want to portray to yourself, your boss, the industry. The kind of work that you put out should be the best work possible. For all sides of the industry, there's gonna be forms of corner cutting here and there, whether it be flat rate or whether it be hourly, trying to trim the clock, taking extra long bathroom breaks, whatever it might be. There's always gonna be that guy who tries to shortcome every single system. You can't get away with it. It's just one of those facts of life. Now, finding out those people and trying to put a system in place to which you either receive a bigger carrot, metaphorically speaking, for what you're doing work-wise, rather than getting the stick for not doing so great a work, that's going to leave more people, I think, happier in the industry, whether they work flat rate or hourly. They need some kind of incentivization to be able to go forward and do better for themselves, because not everybody has that self-worth gene. Not everybody wants to do the best they can absolutely do and be the best technician in their area. I personally say that why would you get into the industry if you don't want to be the best of the best? But like I said, some people just don't have that built into them. But we are all still human, so I think we need incentivization to be able to get those things pushed through. Whether you work whatever kind of system, I think whether it be benefits, extra hours or extra time based on efficiency, getting extra bonuses for having no comebacks, the quality of your work that you do. Giving incentives for that, I think, would be probably the best one, because quality of your work always makes for better efficiency, makes better time, and makes better money for the technician and the employer alike. Well, guys, it is done. That is all we are going to be saying when it comes to this topic of the flat rate system. It pretty much, in my mind, has to die, even though I don't personally think it can. Now, that doesn't mean the conversation can't continue on over into this one. I would like for you guys, if you have anything else to add to this one, either A, put some comments down in the comments below. Let's start some conversation down there on other things that you might have to add, or things that you think I might have done wrong. Or what I would like to hear even more is for you guys to make a video of your own. Get on YouTube, make a quick 30-second or 2-minute video based on what you think the shortcomings are of the system and what it might take to fix it in general, or going to whatever system it might be in general to be able to fix the automotive payment system. Totally open to be able to hear you guys' comments, so please bring them on. If you guys do make a video or anything like that, please message me on Instagram or send me an email over at therustbeltmechanic@gmail.com. Well, guys, that's all we've got for you today. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification up here so you get notified when I come out with more cool, awesome content just like this one here today. I appreciate you tuning in, and as always, you guys stay awesome.